If you follow this channel, you probably want to know how to stand out on Amazon and sell more books. Today we're going to look into one way of achieving that with Amazon A+ content. Right, starting off, what is Amazon A+? Amazon A+ allows you to create an additional section on your product page. This can be really useful because not only does it allow you to do text, like when you upload your book via Amazon KDP, but it also allows you to upload images. And you could argue this, but I think it's a little easier to sell a product with visual aids rather than just copy. So when you're on a product page, if you're scrolling through, you're still not sure whether you're going to buy it, and then you see some lovely images selling the book, that's got the chance to push you over the edge and actually make you click the purchase button. So because of that, Amazon A+ offers a great way to stand out, and as not all sellers are utilising it correctly, it also gives you an opportunity to differentiate yourself and stand out from the competition. So first of all, in order to go to Amazon A+, you log into your account at kdp.amazon.com, click on the marketing tab, and then scroll down to the A+ content. It might be worthwhile going through the Getting Started guide and also looking at the guidelines and examples for inspiration. But when you're ready to go, select a marketplace. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, but if you're based in the US, start with .com. If you're based in the UK, start with .co.uk, for example. Today, we're going to start with .co.uk, and then you can just click Manage A+ content. This then takes you to your Amazon A+ content manager. How this works is you need to create a different piece of A+ content for every book that you own. So here are all of my different books, and each one has its own A+ content. If that sounds like a bit of a chore, don't worry, I'm going to show you some tips to save time a little later on. But to get going, you want to click Start Creating A+ Content. In here, you want to give it a name so it's easily recognisable, and then we can get started with the editing. When you click Add Module, you've got all of these different options that you can add into your A+ content area. So anything from a standard company logo to a comparison chart, multiple images, a large banner, just standard additional product description, specifications, and other varieties of images and sidebars. For this one, we're going to add a nice big banner, which is this one here. And Amazon will tell you what the specs are for your image. So this one, for example, is 970 by 600. So you want to create a banner for that size for uploading. Luckily, I have made one earlier. I'm not sure how much this actually impacts SEO, but I would say it's worthwhile adding your keywords in here as well, just in case it helps out even just the tiniest bit. So now we've got a lovely banner on here, and I might enter a title. And then we're going to add another module. So thinking what would work well for a colouring book alongside a lead banner is maybe this 3 images. If I'm thinking about what I'm looking for when I'm scrolling for a colouring book, for example, then I want to see the interior, I want to be sold on what the content is. And here we're going to add 3 squares that I created. And just a quick note that this says 300 by 300, but these are actually bigger, but it scales it down as long as the file size isn't too big. Okay, so now we've got a nice start. We've got a banner, we've got 3 images, and if you click preview, you can see what it looks like so far. I think that looks really, really cool. And just a quick note that it looks different on desktop and mobile. So for example, mobile is a vertical screen, so you don't have as much width on a mobile device. So here you can see that the squares go underneath each other. So if you're being creative with your content, make sure that you take mobile into consideration as well. Okay, to start with, I'm really, really happy with how that looks. I'm going to go back into the editor, and what I'm going to do is add some of my other colouring books in there for comparison, and in case someone really, really likes this book and comes back to the page, they can easily see some of my other books and click through and then maybe even purchase them as well. So we're going to click on the comparison chart because that allows you to add your ASIN in, which links directly to your product. Okay, and I've just skipped forward so you didn't have to see me upload them all. I've created some nice little banners here to show my front cover and example of the interior. You might just want to show the interior, you might just want to show the cover. You can kind of do whatever you want with the image, but it says here that the width is 150 and the height is 300. So think creatively about what you want to show in this image comparison area. As I said, for me, I thought a cover and a little preview of the interior is a nice way of showcasing the product. You need to put your title and your ASIN in, and then you could add metrics to compare your products. So for me, I've just added how many colouring pages are in here, whether it's single-sided, whether it's got unique designs, but you can pretty much add whatever metric you like. Then you either have a check mark or a text entry field. So if I wanted to do something like this. There you go, little fun example. And then if we go to preview, you can see what the final A+ page will look like. So we've got a lovely big hero banner to try and sell the book. We've then got an additional 3 images here to continue that sales journey. And then if people like the look of my book, they can also go here and select some of my other books as well. And this would then click through to the actual book, so they could add that to the basket as well if they wanted. When you're happy with your A+ content, you click Next to apply ASINs. And here you will need to type your ASIN and select the book that you want to apply this A+ content to. That will appear here. You click Next, and then it will go live. Amazon tends to review A+ content really quickly, sometimes within seconds or minutes. But it might take a few hours for it to actually go live on the product page. So my suggestion would be, as soon as your book's live, go in and create your A+ content, and then it might take a few hours for it to go live before then you start pushing it out and trying to get those sales. So let's see what that actually looks like. If you find this channel useful, you can support me and click that join button below and become a VIP member of the channel. As a VIP member, you're going to get a lot of transparent information from me. I'll tell you all about my book sales, I'll share my ad results for the month, and I'll also share learnings, AI prompts, a ton of tips and tricks, and you can even suggest videos for me to make on this channel as well. So yeah, any support would be greatly appreciated. One thing I would suggest is to read the Amazon restrictions to A+ content, because there are a few things that you can and that you can't do. Just going over a few of the basic ones here is that you can't include any shipping details, you can't include quotes from customers or private figures, and then as you saw, I just made a little comparison chart. You can only compare your products. You can't compare your product against, say, someone else's colouring book. Don't include things like pricing in here, which not only is it a restriction, but then also if you update your pricing on Amazon KDP, you need to go back through the A+ content, update it there, and it becomes long-winded, and you could probably miss out some pricing. So it makes sense to not include pricing, discounts, anything to do with that in your A+ content area. Don't include any web links, and you're not allowed to mention any off-site Amazon customer service, such as if you're not happy, we'll send you a different colouring book, etc. So make sure that you have a quick read through this before you get going, but they are the main things to watch out for that I've found. So hopefully that little walkthrough was useful, so you could see the different types of content blocks that you could add to your Amazon A+. At the moment it's image and text, but I would imagine that in the future that might even open up to video as well. And I think that when it opens up to video content, that will give us an even better opportunity to differentiate from other people. What I love about A+ content is that a lot of people who pump books out and create as many books as quickly as possible aren't going to do the A+ content because they're concentrating on quantity over quality. If you're creating beautiful A+ content, you're basically reassuring the customer that your book is of a good quality, and your A+ content can be a good little indicator of the quality inside of the book as well. So here's an example of what the A+ content looks like when it's live on a page. So here's my latest colouring book. It's one that I'm really proud of. It's one designed mostly for Halloween, but hopefully it will sell throughout the year as well. It's a Creepy Monsters colouring book for adults. When you land on the page on desktop, you've got the cover, you've got the hook, and then you can read more if you want to here. But if you scroll down, you then have a section called From the Publisher. And this is where your A+ content will show. And so if I'm a customer and I'm looking at this product page and I look at the front cover, I look at the back cover, and I'm not 100% sure if I want to buy it or not, I think it's really nice to include some additional images and some additional content to try and reassure the customer that this book is exactly what they're looking for. So looking at this page, you're thinking maybe, why bother creating A+ content? And the simple answer is that it's going to increase sales. But not only that, if you're running ads to your page, it's going to improve your clicks to purchase ratio. Let's look at this scenario, for example, for Amazon. Your book costs $9. You make $3 per sale. You're sending people to the book. Say it costs 30 cents per person you're sending there. Say currently, without using A+ content, for every 10 clicks you're selling a book. That means you're breaking even and you're not making any money. Now, if there's an opportunity to improve that and actually start making money, surely that's a no-brainer. So by adding A+ content, you might then increase that to say 1 in 9 or 1 in 8. And that's all A+ content really is. It's about improving the purchase rate, it's about reassuring the customers, and it's about selling more books. Now, if that sounds like a lot of effort to do for every single book, what you can do is click on one that you've created earlier, click Actions, and click Duplicate. So instead of having to go in and create every single module individually, now you just need to update the images and update the text. Now, one final thing with A+ is that you are currently creating the A+ content just for a single marketplace. So up here you can see we are only creating it currently for .co.uk. But what you can do is click Switch Marketplace, and I'm going to create it for the US. And then all you do is click Show Auto-Created Content. And what that does is it pulls the content through from the marketplace you created it. So currently it is a little bit tedious that you have to go and apply that content in every marketplace, but it doesn't take much time to just click on it, click Edit, click Apply ASINs, it will already be there, and then just click Review and Submit. So as you can see here, on the A+ Content Manager, we're currently in the US marketplace, and underneath it says copied from the UK. Now, if I was to switch to Canada, you could see the exact same thing. Maybe some images work better in, say, the UK rather than the US. If you want to do language differences, say for Germany, for France, you can upload those individually to those marketplaces. So that's a little introduction into Amazon A+. I hope that you found this useful, and I hope that it helps to improve your return on ad spend as well. Thanks for your time. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.